I'd like to welcome and good morning to all of our 8th graders here today. Over the course of these last few years, this gathering has been transformed. However, the main point of today is to recognize you as a class for your outstanding accomplishments over the course of the last few years. Today we'll recognize students for their special achievements both in and out of the classroom. So typically this is how I start the awards assembly, and I give a few minutes to share a message before you depart to your respective high schools, wherever those may be. Or today, with it not being the last day of school, before you go to spare time. For some bowling, laser tag, pizza, and some fun arcade games. Now, some of our support staff are sitting around, which we typically do once a week, to sit down and talk through what's going on. In the past couple of days, we were kind of sharing information and details about how today was going to function. So we got to talking about the theme that typically resonates with the opening speech here today. And I talked about maybe mentioning the idea of resilience. So let's recall a little bit what you've experienced over the course of the most untraditional middle school experience that anybody has ever experienced, and hopefully nobody ever has to experience again. But your 6th grade year unofficially ended right before spring break. Last year you learned remotely for part of the year, and then you learned with your cohorts. And then to start this year, we were very vigilant with how you entered the building, sanitizing, wearing your mask, sanitizing again. All sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, the resilience was an easy topic that could have been discussed. Because your generation, your grade level, your class, had to learn in different formats, again, that nobody should ever have to learn through again. But resilience is a direction I'm not going to go today. So here's the direction that I am going to go. In the same meeting with our support staff members, Mr. Warwick mentioned to me the focus should be about being kind. With the recent happenings, and the message that you can take with you for the rest of your life, because again, the resilience piece, again, hopefully you don't have to experience resilience like you have the last few years. So I'm going to circle around the theme of being kind, but take it in a little bit of a different direction. This is something we can all relate to, whether you're an 8th grader here in the audience or a staff member. But there is an article that I read titled 10 Essential Skills to Look For in a Friend. So let me explain. Middle school is a time of navigating friendships. Navigating your friends, your acquaintances, sometimes your frenemies, and all others. So reading through this list, even us old people that work here in the building, can take something away from this list, because we all have things that we look for in friends. So we're going to do an exercise together here this morning. You don't need to stand. Okay, you're not going to do any type of exercise, but it's a mental exercise. So this list was compiled by Psychology Today, and it states its look-fors. So I want you to think about yourself and those that you consider your closest friends. However, you need to consider that those also consider you as a friend. So here's the list. And it lists a bunch of questions to be reflective on. Number 1, do they recognize when you're not looking for advice? Number 2, do they initiate activities? Number 3, do they avoid, you've got a headache, well, I've got a brain tumor. So trying to up everything that you try to do. Number 4, do they help you view yourself positively? Number 5, do they keep your confidence? Those things that you don't want others to know. Number 6, do they show up places where they're saying they're going to? Number 7, can they say difficult things tactfully? Number 8, do they remember when you have something important happening? Number 9, do they maintain an interest in you even when they've got things going on in their own life? And number 10, which I think is sometimes the most important, can they make you laugh? So here's some advice, take with it what you'd like, but your next few years will continue to be a journey of meeting new friends as you go into a new high school with students from other schools, and navigating those ever-changing tides with your old and current friends. The life's triumphs, their challenges are easier with a co-pilot. Never take for granted the power of a strong friendship, however many there may be. In reading that list, you probably thought of someone you're closest with, and identified how many of those qualities resonate with them. Remember, what you look for in a friend, someone else is looking for the same in return. So thank you for what you've given each other and what you've given us here at Franklin in the most unprecedented of times. So moving on, we do wish you the best of luck over the course of the next few days as you wrap up your Franklin experience and then the next 4 years before you graduate from high school. Take care of yourselves and take care of those around you. And now let's recognize our outstanding class. So today, with the first award, I'm going to introduce Mr. Charlie Smith.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Smith, and I teach the Engineering Technology class. I'm honored today to recognize 2 outstanding students from this year's 8th grade class. This program is designed to give middle school students a general look at a variety of engineering fields, such as mechanical, environmental, electrical, and computer engineering, in the hopes to spark an interest in any field of engineering by having fun while learning. The 2 students I am recognizing today have demonstrated great skill, excitement, and go above and beyond on the various projects completed during the past 3 years, and I have no doubt that they will be fine success in high school and beyond. The Engineering Tech Award is given to 1 male and 1 female student who has been in class while attending Franklin Middle School, displayed positive attitudes and always do their personal best, create quality work and work well with others, and maybe most importantly, have an overall enthusiasm for class and engineering in general. Each of these recipients will receive an engraved plaque, and his or her name will also be engraved on the plaque, which is displayed in the showcase by the main office to commemorate the award. I wish these 2 and the rest of the 8th grade class the best of luck in high school and beyond. I would like to congratulate the following 2 students for being named for the 2022 Engineering Tech Award winners. They are Holly Larson and Colin Elwood. Next, I would like to recognize the member of our robotics group. In the past year, Franklin Bolt's 8732, we were given a challenge to design, build, program, and operate robots to compete in a head-to-head challenge in an alliance format with other middle and high schools in the surrounding area. We are doing the challenge with a partner robotics group competing with 2 other robots. The next time we compete, we had different partners and competitions by your partner from the last challenge. As the season progressed, we've learned a lot about robotics, but mostly about ourselves as a person, as a members of the group. The following 8th grader demonstrated great leadership skills and will be greatly missed. Would Noah Van Meter come on up for being recognized?
Good morning. I am Mrs. Dvorak, and I serve as the PACT facilitator here at Franklin. It has been my pleasure to work with some of the most bright, creative, and outside-the-box thinking students here at Franklin. In the past, we've built a reputation for sending many students on to state in our various activities, and this year was no exception. These students have all taken risks and been better for it. This morning, we have the privilege of recognizing these students and their accomplishments in activities outside of the regular classroom. Each of these students, whose names I will be calling this morning, have put in countless hours outside of the class preparing for either mock trial or researching and polishing a National History Day project. When I call your name, please come to the stage for your medal. This is the state mock trial team. Barra Abel. Elijah Ryan. Braden Swearinger. Emerson Swearinger. Tina Tran. We also had several groups attend State National History Day, and those students are Emma Grantham, Monica Callum, Helen Mackey, and Noah Penn. Yeah, Braden Swearinger was also part of that class. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. The next speaker is the other Mrs. Deborah.
Good morning. Yes, I am the other Mrs. Deborah. I am here this morning to present the Student Council Awards. Student Council here at Franklin Middle School is a community-based organization. It is an organization of members that petition for membership and then commit to a required level of leadership and involvement in the area of service. Students learn how to work as a committee and make contacts and communicate with school and community organizations. Students who were involved during their 6th grade year, because that's really where we need to go back to and think about your involvement as a student council, participated in such activities as the Mix It Up Day, leadership conferences, bell ringing for the Salvation Army, Meals on Wheels, and served as hosts and ambassadors during the school year. This included new students, visitors, and when we were open as a school without COVID, we hosted Japanese students. And we also participated in an elementary blanket project. During the past 2 years, our student council has been very involved in 2 things, and those are our Bolt store. If you remember back last year, it was the first time that we had to do kind of a virtual Bolt store, and our student council members stepped up and carried that out. Their involvement was in the distribution of orders, and many of you have learned the meaning of quality control when it comes to filling those orders correctly. It is not a nice experience when students do not get what they ordered. Another undertaking that just happened last week was our 8th grade student council members, at the urging of your classmates, organized and ran a dodgeball tournament. It was not a small undertaking, and when you consider signing up students, drafting team members, collecting money, and putting brackets together, much was learned. Their brief glimpse into trying to make everyone happy was an eye-opener. These activities have given them many opportunities to develop leadership skills that will serve them well beyond their middle school years. I would like to, first of all, acknowledge all students who have participated in student council from 6th through 8th grade. Would you stand at this time? All right. And again, some of you have been just at 6th grade, maybe just in 7th grade, but this group has been with me all 3 years. And when I call your name off, if you will come up here on stage and we will present you with a certificate. The following, and if you'll hold your applause until we're done calling names and presenting certificates, we'll give them all a round of applause at that time. Braden Swearinger, Emma Grantham, Samantha Becker, Haley Becker. you guys would come up. And at this time, would Miss Mead come to the podium?
Hi, I'm Jerry Mead. I am Franklin's instructional coach, and I am here to recognize the students with the Academic Challenger Award. The Academic Challenger Award is for students enrolled in classes outside the typical class offering for middle school students. These classes include algebra, earth science, and early bird world language, all for high school credit. We want to acknowledge those students for their endeavor, stepping up to the challenge, and the hard work that's required for all of these classes. Will the students enrolled in algebra, earth science, advanced geometry, and world language please stand at this time? Please join with me in recognizing the students. Introducing Ms. Ashcroft and Mr. Hudson.
This award is about more than simply checking out a book and reading. What qualities do we look for in our award recipients?
We look for students who consistently display a genuine love of reading. These students always had a book, or maybe two, with them and never hesitated to read when they were caught up with their work or awaiting instructions. They never declared, "Oh, my book is in my locker."
These three students selected varied titles, read different genres, shared their favorites with their friends, and drew parallels to real life.
We look for the students willing to tackle a difficult piece of literature and share their understanding of the author's words with their classmates.
We look for the students who make the words come alive through their expressive reading in the classroom.
And so, I'm proud to announce the Carol Sjogren Award winners are Bera Abel,
Now we'll introduce Miss Anderson.
and the Access Scholarship Advisor.
Good morning. My name is Molly Anderson, and I am honored to be here as a representative of Kirkwood Community College to announce our 2022 Access Scholarship recipient. Kirkwood and the community of Cedar Rapids know that you are the future of Iowa, and we want to do what we can to ensure your success in school and your future career. We thank our community for stepping forward to say we believe in our future. An individual in our community set up the Access Scholarship as a way to make higher education possible for deserving students from each of the Cedar Rapids middle schools. The scholarship is designed to celebrate one student's achievements throughout middle school, as well as to encourage that excellence continue throughout high school and into college. The Access Scholarship is an endowment, which means we will be here every year to announce the name of a new winner. The student selected for this scholarship has demonstrated excellent leadership ability, attendance, school habits, participation in activities, and citizenship. Only one student at each of the 6 middle schools in Cedar Rapids is chosen per year. The recipient will participate in activities throughout high school and will receive their scholarship after high school graduation and upon enrollment at Kirkwood in the fall semester of 2026. The Access Scholarship provides at least $6,000 towards tuition, fees, and books for a 2-year associate's degree at Kirkwood Community College. Will the following student please come forward to receive your Access Scholarship certificate and our congratulations? Tasha Downs.
This morning to be able to honor some outstanding 8th grade students for their achievements in physical education and athletics. This year we were presented with some unusual circumstances throughout their career, and we will recognize students from both our PE and athletic teams. The Don Black and Evelyn Doherty Awards are given each year to a female and male student of the 8th grade class that best exemplifies the characteristics so befitting of the individuals whose namesake they carry. Both individuals, Don Black and Evelyn Doherty, were former Franklin physical education teachers. Both modeled a strong commitment to students and a professional excellence to the physical education program. For students who have been considered for these 2 awards, they needed to have met the following criteria. Exhibit an excellence in physical education, which would be the qualities of leadership, team cooperation, and the willingness to go that extra mile are the characteristics that set today's award winners apart from the rest of the field. They need to display a strong work ethic in the classroom for academics. And they also need to be able to have made outstanding contributions to their respective athletic teams and teammates. The names of the students that were considered for these 2 awards were nominated by the PE staff and coaches of our sports team. At this time, I would like the following students to stand up because they did receive nominations for this award. Bjorn White, Anthony Walker, hold your applause, Noah Penn, Holden Smith, Colton Klein, Henry Schuster, James Sidman, Tice Robertson, Samantha Becker, Haley Becker, Amelia Mordorf, Emerson Swearinger, Helen Mackey, and Cora Ailes. Please give them a round of applause. We will announce, first we will do the Don Black Award, and that award goes to Henry Schuster. To be given is the Evelyn Doherty Award. This winner of the 2001-2002 school year goes to Cora Ailes. Please come to the podium.
This year, Quota International Cedar Rapids Incorporated honored 2 8th grade students from each Cedar Rapids, Marion, College Community, and Lindmar schools. The goal was to recognize students for outstanding behavior, leadership, and cooperation, in addition to their academic standing. The students were recognized in the Cedar Rapids Gazette just 2 weeks ago, and they will be awarded a medal and a gift card that they will get later, unless I spend it later this morning. Please join me in congratulating the following students who will come up here to receive their awards. Congratulations goes out to Ryan Davis and Tice Robertson. Next, I would like to introduce Miss Davies, who's going to kick off our Fine Arts Awards.
Good morning, everyone. This first one that I'm going to read is just an acknowledgement, so when I read the student's name, he can just stand. So we had one student who was selected for our state honor band, which is a pretty big deal because they choose 22 students from this entire Northeast region. So he got to perform with the state honor band 2 weeks ago in Des Moines. So I want to make sure that I recognize Eli Ryan. And now for the band award. Band is about far more than playing an instrument. I know from personal experience that band can take you places that you did not know were possible, allow you to achieve things of which you did not know you were capable, and form bonds with your teachers and classmates that'll last a lifetime. The band award is given annually to 2 students who exemplify leadership in music, outstanding musicianship, a positive attitude, and participation in extracurricular music activities. This particular 8th grade class especially is full of talented, enthusiastic, and hardworking musicians. So it was really difficult to pick just 2. In fact, I started with a list of about 10. So it was difficult to narrow it down. This year's recipients stood out because they both possess those rare traits of true perseverance and dedication. They may have practiced on days when they didn't feel like it. They put in time and effort to polish solos and audition material. They picked up second instruments. They put in the work to become leaders of that group. They spent Saturdays participating in honor bands and all-city music contests, and they played to the best of their ability every day. They also led their classmates through their positive examples. The first recipient has been one of my most conscientious students in band lessons. She really cares about doing well and works hard to improve week to week. This fall, she took on the challenge of auditioning for the state honor band, which includes preparing an etude that at first glance looks impossible. But she did it. She grew leaps and bounds in her playing through the work she put in, and she was selected as an alternate to that group. Her work ethic, kindness, and enthusiasm are a great model for her classmates. Please help me in congratulating our first award recipient, Ellie Crilly. Possesses an infectious enthusiasm that makes everyone around him better. He's encouraging and helpful to his classmates, even the younger kids who look up to him. He's a selfless member of our group. He's always willing to play whatever instrument is most needed. And finally, he's never satisfied with good enough, which is evident in everything he does in band. Please help me in congratulating our second award recipient, Camden Nash.
As always, selecting a recipient for the Vocal Music Award is a very difficult decision to make, especially this year. This award is given to a student who displays tremendous leadership, dedication to the music program. This year's recipient goes to Gracie Heinrich.
Mrs. Stern for just a moment here. Mrs. Stern is at Taft today, so I'm going to read the Orchestra Award. The Orchestra Award is given to one or more students who demonstrate commitment to the orchestra program, dedication to excel at their instrument, and keeps a positive attitude. Trying to pick just one student from this class became a difficult task as these students all brought their own strengths to the orchestra. Like many other ensembles, moving on to next year, this group had the most work put on their shoulders. In 6th grade, they lost out on being able to finish out their first year as a musician. In 7th grade, many came back without having used their instruments for 6 months. Yet, in 8th grade, their perseverance against all obstacles is what made them achieve so much. This year, the Orchestra Award goes to an individual student who brought a strong desire to learn and improve themselves for the ensemble. This student was a leader in the classroom and was a cheerleader for everyone. It is his commitment to help everyone succeed that will provide him with many opportunities in the future. His exuberant personality will be missed next year. This year's Orchestra Award is proudly given to Cameron Baker. Okay, and next up we have Mr. Baylor.
All right. Hello, my name is Sean Baylor. I'm the Associate Principal here at Franklin Middle School. Today I will be awarding the Academic Growth Award. The Academic Growth Award is an award centered around a program that our district has adopted known as iReady. I feel your pain. This award recognizes students for reaching their typical growth in iReady. Typical growth is the average growth of students at the same grade and placement level in the areas of reading and math. With this program, students take a diagnostic at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. The diagnostic provides information to students on their performance levels, letting them know if they are proficient, above proficiency, or below proficiency in the areas of reading and math. The students, along with their teachers, set growth goals based on the information provided by the diagnostics. The students and teacher together monitor these goals throughout the school year, adjusting as needed to help the students meet their typical growth. Students are expected to devote a minimum of 45 minutes per week in reading and a minimum of 45 minutes per week in math. With a lot of hard work and dedication, I have to say, 140 of you have met the expected growth. That is incredible. So that is a testament to the hard work and dedication that you have put into this school year. Those students that have accomplished this goal, you will receive your certificates in a folder on Friday with other certificates and awards that you have received. That being said, thank you for all of your hard work. Have a wonderful rest of the school year, and good luck in all of your future endeavors. Thank you.
Do the gritty.
All right, I obviously am not Mr. Bork, but we have one quick other award for orchestra. So Shaylee Jacobs, we did not forget you. Now, Mr. Dvorak.
The next two awards that I'm about to present are perpetual awards that remain in the display case on the third floor, but today we'll also award you with a plaque that identifies this. The first one, it is my pleasure to present the Elizabeth Day Award. This award is given annually to an 8th grade student who, in the eyes of Franklin's staff, exhibits the characteristics modeled by this past staff member. It is a very prestigious award, and it, in just the last few years, has been designated as an award to be given to a female student. The inscription on this award reads, Elizabeth Day was a staff member at Franklin Middle School, a lady that was kind, concerned, and unselfish. She looked upon the good things of life as a gift to be shared. This award goes to an individual that exemplifies an all-around citizen. It is a student who is involved, works hard in the classroom, and most importantly, treats everyone with respect. Franklin is pleased to recognize a young lady who managed to maneuver these years with grace and compassion. This young lady exemplifies the qualities that Elizabeth Day lived by. Her kindness and respect are on display each and every day. Her work ethic is solid no matter the task. She makes friends easily and encourages her classmates to do the same. This was demonstrated as she came to our building as a new 7th grader. And it was also during our COVID years that made it exceptionally difficult. It is my pleasure at this time to recognize the winner of the Elizabeth Day Award. She is Andrea Farnham. Our next award is the Patrick Karamitros Award. Who was Patrick Karamitros for those for whom this award is memorialized? This is a newer award. In fact, it has only been given over the last few years. A little bit about Patrick. Patrick was a son, a big brother, a Franklin and then Washington High School student, a teammate, a participant in sports and fine arts, a Boy Scout, and a believer. Patrick Karamitros was born on March 21st, 1994 to Mike and Tamara Karamitros in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He was the eldest sibling of 4 children, and he attended Franklin Middle School from 2005 through 2008. In June of 2010, Patrick suffered a fatal asthma attack and unexpectedly passed away. Patrick was a very conscientious young man. He worked hard on his studies, but was not at all an A student. He participated in multiple sports, but he was not the all-star athlete. He played the saxophone in the jazz band, but was not a first-chair musician. But when you ask, what was Patrick good at, and why are we honoring Patrick? Patrick was a true servant leader. He was a welcoming person who simply made others feel comfortable with who they were. He never ridiculed anyone and always built them up. He would go out of his way when needed. He prioritized his siblings over himself and truly was the model of an oldest brother. He was the first one to reach out to me, was a consistent comment from newly transferred in students who started at Franklin. It was also the same at Arthur or at his church that he was a member at. Others talked about how he helped them with their homework, even skipping his own lunch to do so. His coaches consistently commented on his hard work, hustle, and fantastic attitude. His teammates admired him. Simply put, Patrick understood the most important thing was people and relationships, much to what we heard in your beginning this morning. The Patrick Karamitros Award honors Patrick's legacy by recognizing a male student who has consistently demonstrated outstanding character both in and out of classroom. We're going to switch it up here. There we go. Just a little technology switch. All right. Patrick was a student with a lot of determination. And he had dedication to school and the personal relationships he had with his classmates and teachers. Being a person of character was a choice that Patrick made on a daily basis, a lifestyle he embraced, and because of this, many lives were impacted in a positive way. This year has offered us a unique opportunity to recognize our student. Instead of choosing just, hold on here. This student will have their name appear on the perpetual plaque that honors Patrick. The person that we have chosen for this prestigious award exemplifies the characteristics that he stood for each day of his life. It is my pleasure this morning to present the Patrick Karamitros Award to Cameron Baker. To Mr. Potacek as we wrap things up.
All right, let's hope this microphone stays alive here for the next 10 minutes. So one of the last pieces of today's recognition assembly is for each advisory to be recognized by their advisor teacher. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to go alphabetically by your advisor's name. So obviously Ms. Ashcroft's class is going to be first. So here is the participation for those in the audience. So when Ms. Ashcroft's advisory begins here, every student that is in Ms. Ashcroft's advisory will stand up at that particular time, whether you're in the row or if you received an award earlier. Ms. Ashcroft is going to read through, and all your advisors are going to read through the names of the students in their advisory class. Please hold your applause until each advisory is done. Actually, we'll change this so we can acknowledge each advisor. So you can applaud after every student in that advisory has been read. So teachers, if you can just follow alphabetically, we'll just go one right after another. But students, again, please hold your applause until each advisory, each student's name in that advisory has been read. So we will begin with Ms. Ashcroft.
All right. My advisor, will please stand when you hear your name. Olivia Allers. Cassius Malubate. Aiden Callanan. Amina Champion. Ayala Cook. Laird Hannah. Kyle Hott. Leland Landy. Chase Law. Solomon Layton, Maxie Rowling, and Mirabelle Sapp. Please stand. I apologize. I also missed Emma Grantham, Helen Maxie, and Eli Brian Stanley.
Jonathan Beaver. Sophie Cobert, sorry about that. Javen Donald. Tasha Downs. Raiko Estrada. Annie Farnham. Don Graceffa. DeAnthony Green. Levi Morgan. Noah Penn. Callie Pokemiller. Audrey Pruitt. Braylon Redenbaugh, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Braylon. And finally, Andy Ritchie.
Dvorak's advisory: Vera Abel, Cora Ailes, Priscilla Andrews, Jacob Armstrong, Drayton Avis, Ava Carver, Madison Creighton, Austin Domish, Raya Davis, Megan Kane Kirby, Preston Longwish, Amelia Mardarf, Talia McGee, Connor Meter, Nevaeh Wynn Olvera, Logan Piercy, Christian Takes, and Bjorn White.
We have Hannah Ackerman, Henry Appleby Sparrow, Michaela Bia, Demarishawn Britt, Wesley Clay, Madison Cole, Ellie Crilly, Datrian Gibson, Aiden Hubka, Gavin Lucas, Sarah Novak, Callum Orr, Annabelle Ogle, Emily Ross, and Elijah Williams.
Miss Jones/Porter's homeroom, Jack Gillespie. Blaze Gladwin. Jatera, are you here, Jatera? Jatera Udro, there you are. Annika Major Award Hallam. Danielle Jones. Stand up and be recognized. Eleni Curlin, Colton Klein, Ava McMahon, Emily Nodland, Kyrie Ratcliffe, pick her up, Ariana Reed, Ryland Sullivan, Kasia Welsh, Isabel Westerkamp, Kyle Willis, Lavon Woodard, Charlie Young, and of course, Ed Sheeran.
All right, Mr. Kelsey's advisory: Hannah Allers, Makai Boyce, Addison Doyle, Logan Haynes, Dane Halter, Ari Jackson, Shaylee Jacobs, Ben Krieg, Cohen Kurseth, Riggs Meyer, Sam Mascotti, Aiden Murphy, Romeo Daizeye, Eric Nyandwe, Elliot Rothler, Keandre Wilson.
Okay, Mrs. Schoenbeck's advisory is Rolando Balubate, Anna Crystal, Ivan Coral, Heidi Clark, Giselle Hedgeman, Griselda Link, Daniel Pham, Karsten Petrazak, Brianna Reed, Tice Robertson, Joe Schmidt, Henry Schuster, Braden Swearinger, Jordan Sweet Landfair, Sammy Wheeler, Emily Wiegand, Ava Williams, and David Wilmot.
Mr. Smith is about to treat. Jaden Bone, Haley Becker, Grady Bewin, Amy Carpenter, Alwadea Ellis, Jack Aspey, Brady Ferguson, Zach Froyland, Katrina Hare, Henry Lane, Holly Larson, O'Shea Lewis, Braden Mesh, Juana Bakata, Cam Neff, Cora Urban.
Mr. Thorson's advisory. Samantha Becker, Aiden Beast, Trey Frost, Nick Knipford, Kane LeBen, Cliff McDowell, Ken Mueller, Abby Myers, Eddie Girowaneza, Divya Ramadugu, Holden Smith, Dion Soto, Devin Stansberry, Anya Wennerstrom, Kamarion Williams, and Rose Yao.
Vanessa Ackerman, Hadley Asbilzak, Mason Atwood, Max Bruno, Zaya Dixon, Oliver Dussel, Elijah Cole, Callum Elwood, Gracie Heinrich, Noah Lockhausen, David Miller, Trevor McLeod, Nick Schreiber, Emerson Swearinger, Zoe Tier, Noah Van Meter, and Elijah Juan Westerfield.
All right, thank you. In closing, because we got that important. I think the buses have just arrived. So here, before we begin with our dismissal, I do want to thank you again. We've got a few more days here at Franklin, and it starts this afternoon or later this morning. And what I want you to do is make sure that you have a good time with your classmates with a few days that you will have together here at Franklin. So thank you for your time and thank you for today. And thank you for all your hard work and best of luck to you.